We've all been there. Our opponent just played their 7-drop commander that will absolutely tear your ass a new one, but all you have to deal with it is a straight up removal spell like Power Word Kill. Now, while not the biggest problem, if you don't play it, that commander will run you over. If you play it, well, it's human nature to want to, do the thing you want to do, and when you can't, you're gonna, target the person that, made you not able to do it. But logically, you decide to play the card anyway, and that opponent proceeds to do one of 4 things. They may say, alright, fair enough, take it well, as they plot how to kill you first. They may outright tell you, you're my next target, sorry about you. You may honestly just not be a threat at all and you happen to have a kill spell, so it really didn't matter, and they'll move past it. Or they may straight up concede and leave the table. Argue with me all you want, if someone kills your commander or your big threat before you get to use it, they'll have an agenda from that point on. And honestly, this whole situation, for how common it happens, like every game of commander you play, it's no fun to have mood shifted at the table just because a problem needed dealt with. But fear not, this agoraphobic 70-year-old stuck in a 25-year-old's body may actually have an answer to this problem. In 1885, German psychologist Erman Ebbinghaus, I hope I got that right, first described and coined his study of the serial position effect. His theory was that as humans, our brains tend to remember the first and last things we hear or in a sequence. While the stuff in the middle kind of blurs together, it's easier to forget. To get a little personal, this theory is in full effect with things like depression, anxiety, mental health issues like that. When the first thought is negative, you try to follow it up with a positive, but the fact that you have depression or anxiety will make it bookend with a negative, making the stuff in the middle a little bit harder to remember. After testing and studying it, it has been proven we remember the first and last things we read the most, while the middle section tends to be a blur, which is exactly why you're inching towards your YouTube button right now. Just hear me out. Knowing this, let's talk about why fair removal is actually overpowered. Ebbinghaus states that the first and last things out of our mouth are what we remember. That in turn means that if we are able to control what the first and last things that we say are, we can control the outcomes and responses to a degree of those we're speaking to, or at least alter the memories a bit of the people we're speaking to. In order to do this, we need to reverse engineer what we're wanting out of a situation. Well, what do we want? We want to remove a problem without becoming the focus of all that player's resources afterwards. What makes them do that in the first place? Well, we gotta put ourselves in their shoes first. The first thing the opponent will say is, I'm going to attempt to cast my threat. For the sake of this example, we'll say the threat is their commander. The first thing they'll say is, I'm going to attempt to cast my commander. Now let's say you have a straight up removal spell like Power Word Kill in your hand. The next thing they're gonna hear is you doing your little pussyfooting where you go, yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna do this. Maybe. Nah, I probably have to. Then they see you tap your lands and you go, yeah, I'm gonna have to destroy your commander. In this case, there's 3 things that person's hearing. First, he wants to play his commander. Second, not sure if we're gonna do it. Maybe we're gonna do it. Third, we're definitely gonna do it. It's gone. Using the recency effect, it's safe to say that he doesn't really remember that I really don't want to do this, but I have to, and instead remembers the wanting to play their thing and not getting to because of you. Now let's rewind and put a piece of fair removal in the place of Power Word Kill and see what goes. They're gonna say, I'm gonna attempt to cast our commander. We're gonna say, should I do it? I'm not sure. Then we're gonna tap our things and go, yeah, we have to. Exile your commander with a path to exile. And search your library for a basic land, put it onto the battlefield tapped. So in this case, our order of events are, opponent wants to play a commander, we announce we have to remove it, we remove it, opponents get a basic land. We have essentially moved removing it up in the order of events into the middle, making it easier for the opponent to subconsciously forget and easier for them to maybe give us a little leeway because we gave them a land. Now, is this to say that they completely forget all the stuff in the middle? No, you can't just be like, you're a dumb, stupid piece of shit, useless sweetheart. You know what I mean? And then the person's gonna be like, thank you. That's not how it works, but it makes it easier. Keep in mind that giving the opponent something isn't the only way to override the serial position effect. We could also use opponents' decks against them in a way. For example, if you're playing against an aristocrat deck and they play a huge threat and they don't have any death triggers on board, you might want to wait till they play a death trigger, like a morbid opportunist or a blood artist, and then we can very easily remove it due to the serial position effect. The chain of events will now be them playing the bomb, us removing the bomb, and then now the death triggers are then the death triggers triggering for them and them getting a bunch of bonuses. Again, the board state itself can come into play with serial position effect. Just think about what the first and last things the opponent will hear or do are and play accordingly. And yeah, just kind of something I wanted to talk about. You could take this further and apply it to pretty much any part of the game. Counter spells, why not run some more quote unquote fair ones? Not to take advantage of your opponent's psychology or anything. No, because we want us both to draw cards, you big silly guy. Board wipe? Sure. The last thing they're going to remember is us paying 10 life for it with Toxic Deluge, though. I feel like you can apply this in a bunch of different areas. If you thought of any areas you could apply this, or where this has applied in one of your gameplays, or a card that this fits into, please feel free to comment down below. Also, all the social links are down in the comments and in the description if you want to support us or go check them out. Make sure to subscribe. We're trying to get to 10K by the end of the year. Much love, guys, and go play some Magic.
Perfect.
In response, run 100 up. You think I'm mulligan a pub, you ain't one of us. Where's it at? Where's it at? Ain't noticing it, I'm right here. Boom big, I'm noticing it. My pedal to the metal like gilded. My pedal float shit like I killed it. Real shit, let this little nerd get a word in real quick.